Good afternoon and welcome back, Realty Pros. We are excited that you guys carved out the time to invest in your success for 2026. And as promised, today is our Ignite training. Somebody type Ignite in the chat. We are kickstarting your next 5 deals for 2026. So the purpose of our training today, obviously kickstarting those 5 deals, but we want you guys to walk away with clarity, with a daily action plan, and then defined income pathway, as well as a call list ready to execute. All right. So sit back, take notes, participate, invest in making sure that you get everything that you came to get out of today's training. All right. So before we begin with our training today, I just want to reiterate a couple things that were very imperative from last week's training. And that is with regards to mindset. I'll just sum some of those things up in that your thoughts are the control center of your life. So I want to make sure that you know that in everything that you do, you want to make sure that you have a positive mindset, right? Because having an can do attitude is going to open up doors for you, right? And I will succeed mindset is what's going to create the momentum that you need. Your outcomes will follow your thinking. So it's very important that you have the right mindset as we move forward with today's training. So what you believe that you can do is what's going to determine what you will actually pursue. So now that we've briefly reiterated or had a recap from last week, let's move forward with today's training, because belief gives you permission to dream, but vision is what's going to actually give you some direction. Somebody type in the chat vision, right? So why is it that we have to have vision? I'm so glad that you guys asked. This vision that we're talking about today, this vision is your income goals, right? Without vision, people perish. And those who plan or fail to plan to fail. So we want to ensure that every last one of our Realty Pros has a working plan so that you have goals. And one of the things that I will point out on here is very important from a statistical reference. 83% of people have no goals. Somebody type in that chat, 83% of people. And keep moving forward. As you see on the screen, 14% of people, they have goals, but they're just in their heads. And guess what, Realty Pros? You and I are among the three. And this is why this training is so imperative today, which is why I want you to fully commit to what we're doing today, because only 3% of people have written goals. And I hope that you can see the image on the screen, because it's very obvious that people who have written goals achieve more, but guess how much more? People who have written goals achieve, well, let's start with goals in general. People who have goals in general achieve 10 times more success than people who have no goals. And people who have written goals achieve 30 times more than people who have no goals at all. Somebody type in that chat goals. Very, very important. So once we define the income, then clarity will replace confusion for you today. We want to make sure that you guys are able to move forward and have the absolute best 2026 that you can possibly have, right? So by the end of today's session, each of our Realty Pros, you're going to stop guessing where the deals are going to come from and start engineering the results that you desire to see. You're going to understand that income is math. It is not magic. Somebody type in that chat, math, not magic. You're going to identify 5 specific deal sources that are already within your reach, Realty Pros. You're going to leave with a personalized 14-day action plan. And that is what you will accomplish by the end of our training today. So somebody give a round of applause because you should be very happy that you logged on to Realty Talks today, right? Because Realty Pros are not lacking leads. You guys are not lacking leads. You're not behind. You're not missing out on opportunities. What you need is clarity. And today, Realty Pros is when clarity shows up. So let's keep moving forward. We're going to shift from trying to executing with confidence. All right. So let's keep moving forward. Most of our agents, or most agents in general, they're surrounded by opportunity, but have not yet discovered them. So today, the ignition in the ignite portion of our training is shifting how you see deals. So let's keep moving forward, Realty Pros, because deals don't come from hustle alone. They come from precision. And when you can see your business clearly, then confidence replaces fear. Somebody type in that chat, confidence replaces fear. All right, let's keep going. Mindset reframe. So as of today, I want for every Realty Pro to stop asking or thinking, where will my next deal come from? And start asking, which action produces the fastest yes? I'm going to say that again. Which action produces the fastest yes? All right. So your takeaway, your next 5 deals, they are not in the future. Your next 5 deals, they are in existing conversations and contacts and follow-ups. That is so good. They are in existing conversations, contacts, and follow-ups. I hope that you guys are grabbing hold of this today because this will be transformative for your 2026. Because once your mindset is clear, then the numbers become freeing, not frightening. And that is what our goal is when we talk about the shift that has to take place so that you guys can have clarity, so that you can have focus, and so that you will see exactly where those next 5 deals are coming from. Let's continue. This is one of my favorite pages from our Porterhouse business plan. This is the making it easy and breaking down the numbers, guys. And if you notice, you have updated sales prices based on averages of about $450,000 there. And when we're talking about this clarity that we need to have, when we're talking about knowing our goals, writing our goals, having those numbers, it being math and not magic, it's imperative for us to start out and say, okay, well, in order for me to write this business plan or these goals, what is the average sales price? And if you take 450, you have 3% commission from that. That means if you're on one side of that sales transaction, then 13,500 is that gross commission income. And at 80% of a split, that's approximately $10,800 per closed sales side. So you're going to start with that number. All right, Realty Pros? And then for the sake of our training, as well as your goals for the year, I want for every Realty Pro to have a 6-figure income goal. And let's walk through those numbers. Because at $10,800 per transaction, that equals 10 transactions that you need to close this year in order to earn 6 figures in your real estate business. Somebody type in that chat, 10 transactions, just 10. So let's keep moving forward. These numbers are so key to knowing exactly what you need to do. So as we walk through them, you're going to see those numbers build up. And then at the end, you're going to have an aha moment. So let's continue. So our goal is to take more listings because in real estate in general, it is a known fact that listings are a recipe for success. So your ratio should be to take 60 to 40, 60% listings to 40% buyers. We know that we have many realty pros who prefer buyers, and that's perfectly fine. But for the sake of our exercise, we're going to do it with 60% listings and 40% buyers. And remember, your goal is going to be that 10 transactions sold. So let's keep moving forward. 6 listings, 4 buyers. And let's keep going. There's a ratio there of 2 to 1. Making it easy, breaking down the numbers means you need to understand the math of your real estate business. You need to know what prospecting looks like so that when you're having a conversation with one person, and if they do not convert, you're still motivated. You still move forward because you understand the numbers and you know that it is a numbers game. So let's continue. For every 2, well, the 2 to 1 ratio means that for every 2 listings that you take, you're likely to sell 1. So to sell 6 listings, you'll need to take 12. All right. So of course your numbers can exceed these, but these are the national averages. So for the sake of this exercise, let's keep moving forward. All right. So for this 2 to 1 ratio, also it means that for every 2 listing appointments that you go on, you'll get 1. So to take 12 listings, you'll go on 24 appointments, right? But remember, we said we're going to build up and show you all the big numbers, but when we get to the end, there's going to be an aha moment. So hang in there with me. The next one, Realty Pros, is this 5 to 1 ratio, which means that for every 5 leads that you generate, you'll get an appointment. 1 appointment for every 5 leads. Somebody type in that chat 5 to 1. This is so important. For every 5 leads, you get an appointment, guys. I want the lights to come on because as we're out and we're generating leads and we're prospecting for business, you need to know that in order to get 1 appointment, you got to generate at least 5 leads. So keep moving. To book 24 appointments, you'll need to generate 120 leads. All right. And that number is starting to get bigger. But as promised, stick in there until the end and you're going to see how it all pans out. All right. So the next ratio is the 12 to 1 ratio, which means that for every 12 people that you talk to, meaning every 12 contacts, you'll get a lead. And that should be exciting to you guys. For every 12 people that you talk to, you will get a lead. So to generate 120 leads, you'll need 1,440 contacts. So let's keep going. One of the things that we want you guys to do before you even start planning all of your marketing and prospecting endeavors is we want you to carve out 4 vacation weeks per year. So whether you travel, or you stay home, you watch TV, or whatever you do, that is time that you carve out for you, your recuperation, your refresh, your family, and everything that you need to do. And when you carve out these 4 weeks of vacation per year, they help to prevent burnout. They help to prevent overwhelm. They help to prevent complacency because you always have something to look forward to. So then let's see what our year will look like if you carve out those 4 vacation weeks per year. That's 1 week per quarter, which leaves 11 working months for you and I per year. So if you only work 20 days per month, then that equals 220 working days per year. And that's out of 365. Only 220 working days out of 365 days. So if your goal is to have 1,440 contacts, so you take that, you divide 220 into that, and that means you only need to make 7 contacts per day. I hope that the light is coming on for you guys. Somebody type in that chat 7 per day. Only 7 contacts per day, guys. I hope that's good to you because you and I, we can contact 8 to 12 people per hour, right? And we're not talking about the long-winded people that want to talk to you for 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Those are wonderful. And you set place for those outside of all of the other calls. But 8 to 12 contacts per hour, that's the average amount of times that it's going to take you in order to reach your goal of contacting people per day. So 45 minutes to 1 hour of daily prospecting is all you need to achieve over $100,000 in earnings for this year. I'm going to take a moment and let that settle in and just reiterate it just for the sake of your hearing. 45 minutes to 1 hour of daily prospecting is all you need to achieve an income of $100,000 in your real estate business this year. Somebody type in that chat, 1 hour. 1 hour for only 220 working days per year equals $100,000 worth of income in your real estate business. And I hope that's good to you guys. I want to make sure that every person knows exactly what to do, when to do, and all of those things. I'm going to pause there for just a moment because I want to make this perfectly clear to us. Oftentimes we think about our day, we think about our week, we think about our month, and we think of all the things that we have to do. And sometimes you can experience a mental overwhelm just by thinking of all the things that want to pull on us. But when we think in terms of the investment that we can make in our own real estate business and say 1 hour per day can earn me 6 figures in my real estate business this year, hopefully to you, that becomes doable. Because there's one thing for me to say, hey, I need you to contact 1,440 people today, but that's not what's happening. It's over the period of a whole year, of which only 220 days are spent working. So I hope that you guys can see all of the things that are afforded with this type of mindset or this type of goal and vision plan that you have moving into the year. So when we began our Realty Talks today, you guys had a very intentional prompt in the beginning or a very intentional icebreaker. And that icebreaker was, where in your day do you have the availability to carve out 1 hour worth of time for your real estate business? And now this is where you are going to plug that into. So let's keep moving forward, Realty Pros, because we talked about what we're going to do, what our goals and our purpose was for our training today. And let's just take this to the next level, because you guys are going to kickstart your next 5 closings, your next 5 deals for 2026. Now you see that you can accomplish that 6-figure income goal in only 1 hour of calling per day. So then, of course, in order for us to make that goal a smart one, we've got to make it specific. Remember our goal: smart, specific, measurable, attainable, right? Relevant, and time bound. So specifically, who are the people that you're calling every day? Well, you guys are so bright. I'm so glad you asked that question, because guess what we're going to do on this next slide? We're going to take the opportunity to write down some people. And you're going to walk away knowing exactly who you're calling every day for the next 14 days. The first group of people that I want you to call, first of all, I want you to know that we're discovering the business that's already within your reach, because your next deal is likely not going to come from somebody that you don't know. And while we're very intentional to market and to prospect to people that we don't know, this is where the business lies for you and I, that you'll be able to put your hands on right away, right? These are people that you're going to reach out to. These are your current, as well as past leads. Somebody type in that chat current and past leads. Next, your referral sources. This is anybody who has ever sent you business. And last but not least, this is going to be your past as well as current clients. So what I want us to do in this moment is I want us to take the next 3 to 5 minutes and I want you to jot down every single person that you can think of from one of these categories. Your current and past leads. Remember, if you've ever had a real estate conversation with them, then they qualify as a lead, right? Your referral sources, anybody that has promised to send you a lead, whether they have sent it to you or not. If they sent it to you, then you call them first. If they haven't, you still call them because a promise not activated is still potential. So you're still going to move forward with reaching out to those people. And then your past as well as current clients, because even with your current client, you're not waiting until the deal closes before you ask for the business. So at this point, I want you guys to take a moment. I'm going to pause and I want you to write down all of the people that are on your screen. All right, Realty Pros, I hope that you were diligent in writing down every single person you can think of from one of these categories. Now, what I want you to do, every single Realty Pro on the line, I want you to drop in the chat the number of people that you were able to recall. Drop that number in the chat, whether it's 5 people, whether it's 15 people, whether it's 20 people, whatever that number is, I want you to drop it in the chat because we're very intentional with what we're doing here today, Realty Pros. This is not just a memory exercise. This is a business inventory. So I really want you guys to be intentional about this because these are people that you've already earned their trust. We know that people generally work with people that they know, like, and trust. And these are they for which you've already earned trust. The conversation has already begun, right? No relationship starts from zero. These are people that have already had some type of connection with you. So your next deal, it rarely, like I said, comes from somebody brand new. It's going to come from somebody who already knows your name. And that is so good to me. I hope it's good to you because all of these people, they know your name. They're raving fans. They know your name, Aurelia. They know your name is Pat. They know your name, Anika. They know your name for every last Realty Pro that's on the line. So what I want you to do is I want you to circle 5 names out of the names that you just wrote down. And these are your most likely next deals, guys. So let's be clear. Because of all of the names that you were able to jot down, you are going to call every single one of them within that hour, the 45 minutes to an hour of time that you've carved out, that you are going to commit to your own success in 2026. And you are going to call every last person on that list. Start with 7 per day until you make it through that list, right? But the first 5 that you circle, I want you to call them first, all right? So the daily prospecting hour that you clearly define, plug those people in. If you keep your calendar in your phone, or if you keep it on your computer, or if you have a planner, however you do it, I want you to take this moment and do this because you don't need more leads, Realty Pros. You don't need more training. You don't need to wait until you feel ready for this. What you need is focus. Somebody type in that chat, focus, consistency, and belief in what is already in your hands. So your next 5 deals are not missing. They are responding to the calls that you are about to make. I hope that you guys are getting this because this is your moment, Realty Pros. This is your ignition. So ignite and let's call every last one of them right now. So it's at this moment that I want to go ahead and pause because I want to hear your key takeaways, your feedback, and your thoughts. And then if we're able to end even before our time, I want you to jump off and start calling these people right now. Somebody say ignite. Let's kickstart your next 5 deals. Thank you so much, Realty Pros, and I will see you later.